You're still watching Politics HQ. Now, let's get into the crux of the conversation. In Benue, political rivalry has resurfaced between a secretary to the government of the Federation, George Akume, and Governor Hyacinth Alia. Now, the clash played out at the Tiv Cultural Day in Gboko, where factions or tensions around the governor's entry sparked confrontation amongst supporters. Now, Akume, speaking at the event, criticized Alia's leadership while urging youths not to be drawn into political thuggery. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, represented at the ceremony, praised the Tiv people's cultural heritage and reaffirmed his administration's commitment to the national unity and development. Meanwhile, the APC national chairman, Nentawe Yilwatda, has stepped in, apologizing for the fracas and pledging to mediate between the factions ahead of 2027. Tonight, we examine what this renewed rivalry means for Benue politics and Nigeria's broader democratic space. Well, just to give a bit of insight into, of course, what is happening in Benue State, all seems not to be well between the current governor of the state, that's Governor Alia, and the secretary to the federal government, George Akume. Some would even tell you that it dates way back even to during election when the presidency accused Akume of sabotaging Alia's governorship bid, while Akume's wife, Regina, blasted the governor for being ungrateful and exposing some alleged misappropriation of funds. Now, Akume was also accused of using about 25 million naira meant for Alia's medical treatment in Germany, despite Alia's claim of having healing powers and all of that. But, I mean, this has been some sort of long-standing feud between the SGF and the current governor of Benue State. Even though they belong to the same party, they have been at, loggerheads on issues. But this particular event that did happen saw the SGF and Mr. Governor, sort of having cold shoulders, with supporters having to jump into the crux of all of this. But now the big question is this: what does this portend for the people of Benue State? These are two powerful figures. George Akume, of course, is not just the SGF. He's also a strong, pivotal force when it comes to politics in Benue State. Now, on the other hand, Reverend Alia is the governor of the state. And many are beginning to ask, what will this portend, for politics, and how will this impact on the governorship election in the state during the next political season? So many talks, so many speculations, and of course, so many permutations ahead. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, the show continues. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Well, joining me to discuss this is Bemgba Iortyom, is currently the 2027 governorship aspirant on the platform of the PDP in Benue State, and also immediate past state publicity secretary of the People's Democratic Party. It's great to have you. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure being with you.
All right. Now, what we're seeing, between the governor of the state, the feud we're seeing between Governor Hyacinth and the SGF, George Akume, many are beginning to wonder what exactly is going on. I mean, these are individuals who belong to the same political party, even though we know that it's not really been rosy between them both. But many are beginning to speculate as regards how this would impact on the politics, for instance, of the state.
Thank you once again for having me. As one who is a stakeholder in Benue State, and as you rightly said, one who is running for the office of governor in the 2027 general elections, I have every reason to be worried, and I am disturbed as well for the fact of how things are panning out at the topmost levels of political leadership in the state. Things don't look too well, and for us in the opposition, we we are really saddened about it. Having said that, let me quickly point out that what happened in Gboko on the 13th at the Tiv Cultural Day celebration was, it was predictable. It's a trend that has been there. Perhaps the world is only getting to know about it, now, because then it happened on the biggest stage in the state so far. It was a dress rehearsal of what we should be expecting in as we head into 2027. And I can say, without mincing words, that the governor has the blame squarely on his table. The governor has set this stage.
Sorry to interrupt your line of thought,
yes,
because you said quite a couple of things. You said what we saw at that cultural festival is a dress rehearsal in lieu of the 2027 governorship race, and that the governor, has virtually a bulk of the blame in all of this. I would like to first ask you, the dress rehearsal that you're talking about, I mean, what exactly should Nigerians be looking at if this is a dress rehearsal? Are we looking at a situation of total breakdown of law and order?
Possibly. I'm saying this with all honesty, and I'm saying it from a very, from a position of deep concern. Because, like I said, Governor Hyacinth Alia has set the stage for this sort of scenario, sort of situation in Benue State where tensions are so high, and everything looks to be heading in the direction of lawlessness. Now, if you look at the details of what transpired in Gboko, at the center of it is a group that is known, as the No Alia, No Benue gang. These are loyalists of the governor. As a matter of fact, they are under the office of a senior special assistant to the governor by name Tiv Cultural, who recruits them, takes them along with him to public occasions, and they harass and intimidate opponents of the governor. Like I said earlier, the world is getting to know about it now, because on the 13th it happened on about the biggest stage in the state. On the 4th of February this year, the first professor of Tiv language, by name Professor Pam Ojeti Oka, died and was being buried at his ancestral home in Api. The governor was there when the No Alia No gang and No Alia No Benue gang stormed the venue of the burial. And while they were there, the member of the House of Representatives for Gwegwe West Federal Constituency, Architect Asima Achado, had the floor to speak. And he had, out of goodwill, offered that the youth he would grant 10 employment opportunities to those youths. As innocuous and as harmless as that was, they seized upon that and harassed, almost literally beat the man off the stage. The governor was right there. He sat, viewed everything smugly, and when it was his turn to speak, he, as a matter of fact, he validated the actions of the youths. He said that when people come to public gatherings, they should mind their words. He has never rebuked these people. You go all around Benue State, if it's a church occasion, and an opponent of the governor is to worship in a church anywhere in Benue State, it's either the local government chairman rises up to say, no, there are insecurity, there's issues of insecurity, worship cannot take place, they mobilize thugs, and they disrupt public occasions and all. So Alia has set the stage for violence in Benue State.
But sorry to interrupt you.
When we analyze this, we see that perhaps by reason of the fact that he is not so strong on ground politically, he might be considering violence and thuggery as the only option as we head into 2027. But I'm saying this without mincing words, and I'm saying it because I can back up my assertions with facts.
You keep insinuating that he's stalking violence, and you affiliated a certain gang called the No Alia no Benue gang.
No Benue.
But
yes.
This is a man of God. He's a reverend. He was a reverend before he became a governor. And right now you are saying maybe he feels it's not popular, and that's why he seems to be fanning the embers of violence. For people watching, many watching would disbelieve this, given the fact that this man is a man of God, is a reverend. So I mean, this gang, you said from your analysis, is not even directly affiliated with the governor, is affiliated with someone within his cabinet. So how does this add up?
But on whose table does the buck stop?
So are you saying Governor Hyacinth is weak? Is that what you're saying?
The governor. I have mentioned the name of a senior special assistant to the governor by name Tiv, but I repeat his name. He heads this group. He marches at the, in the leadership of this group to public occasions. In fact, on the 13th, at that event in reference here, the event that we are discussing here, are you aware that someone was stabbed at that event? Someone was stabbed at that event and was rushed to hospital in the full glare of the whole camera is on tape. Who was mentioned? The allegation was that it was this same Tiv that had stabbed the person. Of course, it's yet to be
But you also have not said anything.
Yet to be,
you also have not said anything about the SGF.
Now the police have not even made a statement to that. No arrests have been made. So when you look at things of this nature, there is every cause to be concerned. There's every cause to be worried.
But sorry, you have not said anything. You have not said anything about the SGF, George Akume, because for observers of this, we know that this feud seems to be between them. Are you entirely absolving the SGF in this?
Now, my point is simply this: at every point, there should be someone who is taking the primary and paramount responsibility. The governor has the powers to maintain law and order in Benue State. He swore on oath to protect the lives and property of the people of Benue State. He controls the security vote. He has both the coercive and persuasive powers of governance. So he determines almost entirely the sort of scenario that we're going to have in place. Now, why should I be looking at placing blame on Akume? How should I do that? If we are going to take a trajectory, if we are going to go back and trace the genesis of the feud that they are having, the governor has at every point been on the front foot. I have met, I have witnessed a number of occasions where the SGF has had cause to speak about this, his disagreements with the governor. And what he has always ended up saying has been that we should pray for the governor. Every Benue, man, woman, and child should pray for the governor. It is the governor and his appointees that have continually stoked the embers of crisis in Benue State. I'm saying this, if Akume were the governor, I would place the blame on his table.
So the
governor has the onus to determine the sort of, relationships that we are having in the state. That's my point. That's my point.
All right.
No one else has a gang that is going about and harassing people.
In 30 seconds.
It is the governor that has this gang. He has never called them to order. The gang is under the control and the leadership of his senior special assistant. He has never for once come out to condemn their activities. And they have been known over time to have carried out acts which are unlawful, to have carried out acts which violate and infringe on the fundamental rights of people. So it is with his tacit approval. And so who should bear the blame? He is the one who should bear the blame, and that's why I place it squarely on his table.
All right, so
there's no point looking for people to share the blame. If he does not want crisis in Benue State, we are not going to have crisis in Benue State. That's the simple, straight fact about this whole thing. There's no point beating about the bush. We have gotten to a point that we are staring crisis in the face. We are looking at possible bloodshed in the face. So what's the point mincing words? What's the point trying to look around to share blame? There's no point. The governor bears the responsibility for the very fratricidal, situation that we have in Benue State. He bears the blame for the balkanization of Benue into political camps and, into all manner of camps and all of that. The tensions in Benue start and end on Alia's table. And it's time Alia does something about this.
Mr. Iortyom, you've given the governor a bloody nose tonight. We'll go on our first break. When we return, we'll, of course, explore the angles to this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, many thanks for staying with us. I still have Bemgba Iortyom, is the current 2027 governorship aspirant on the platform of the People's Democratic Party in Benue State and also the immediate past state publicity secretary of the PDP. Great staying with me, sir. Now, before I let you go, in 30 seconds, if you were to advise Mr. Governor, right? You've said a lot of things this evening. You've actually even accused him of stoking the embers of violence in the state. If you had to have a sit down with the governor and advise him, what would you tell him?
I would simply tell him you do not need violence to win your re-election in Benue State.
But he's a man of God, and this is an irony.
Well, that is an irony to every one of us. If it's an irony to you, it is more to us, because when the people of Benue State were voting him into power, I believe they had that at the back of their mind. They had that before them. They were expecting that because they were putting into office a man of God, things were going to turn out differently from the way they are now. So I am calling on Mr. Governor, look at your oath as a priest. You are a preacher of the gospel of Jesus Christ, which essentially emphasizes and promotes peace, unity, and harmony over disunity, crisis, and evil. So what's the point? Why? Benue State has never had it this bad. Never, ever. Not even under military administrations. This is the first time Benue State is so polarized, is so divided, is so steeped in politics of hatred, bitterness, and disharmony. This is shocking that it is happening under a priest of the Catholic Church. It's surprising. Indeed, it is. And it's regrettable. Right. He can turn all of this around. He has the honor. The honor is his. He has it in his power. He can gather everyone in the state. He can make a college of leaders. Bring all the past governors together, like it's happening in Nasarawa State. When you see A. Sule in Nasarawa State, you see all the past governors with him. You don't have this kind of crisis that we are having in Benue State, in Nasarawa State.
Mr. Iortyom,
to achieve that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time on the program this evening. It's of course been great having this conversation with you. Thank you.
It's been my pleasure.